How's it going, Bears fans? Welcome back to the Bear Down podcast, where we talk everything Bears every day of the week. I'm your host for today. My name is Zach Rimbos. I'm the head editor and video producer here at Beared Down. And today I'm joined with my co-host, Parth Shah. Parth, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Just celebrating Victory Monday, I guess. Felt good to get the win yesterday. Bears are 7-7, right in the picture for the playoff hunt, and that's what we're here to talk about.
Yeah, it seemed like a really a big role reversal here over the last couple of weeks. We see the Bears offense has been putting up 30-plus points in consecutive games, which has not happened in a long time. Bears defense has been giving up a lot of yards, a lot of points in their last few outings, so we're here to talk about that. But mainly, we're here to talk about today what the Bears are hoping for and for them to be able to get into the playoffs. They are fighting for the third and final wild card spot in the playoffs. So it's going to be a very tight race. Yesterday, with a win over the Vikings, their playoff chances, their berth chances in the playoffs, raised from 24% to 46%. But then we really needed the Cardinals to lose, but they did not. So then our playoff chances have dropped to 34%, according to the Bears Twitter. Parth, I want to ask you really quick, just before we jump into the playoff scenario. What were your feelings about yesterday's game? Because it was a very interesting game. Maybe one of the best games that the Bears have played.
Yeah, it definitely was an interesting game. It had the playoff type of atmosphere. Both teams need to win this game. The Bears pulled it out. That shows the heart this team has. The team is willing to put up a fight regardless of how, bad times have gotten sometimes. The past couple weeks we saw the Bears, go on the 6-game losing streak. But despite that, here we are 7-7, even with a 5-game winning streak in that season and a 6-game winning streak in that season. We're 7-7. It's kind of weird, but we got a shot to make the playoffs. We got 2 more games left, and here we are. We have a good. I think I'm pretty happy with where we are at currently. I'll say that.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of weeks ago, a lot of Bears fans were thinking, "No, this is a throwaway season." I'm sure all of us were as well. We were all thinking, I don't know how the Bears can pull this one out. But I mean, things have been going in our favor, and we have a chance here. So it's going to be very interesting the last couple of weeks. We're going to have a couple of things go our way, but mainly we have to win out. That gives us our best chance. So we're gonna talk about Parth. I believe has the scenario that we need for the Bears to get into the playoffs. So I'm going to go ahead and let him talk about that.
So the Bears have a couple chances to make the playoffs a couple different ways. First way is the Bears win out. I think that needs to happen regardless. For the Bears to drop a game, it would be very unlikely. So I think the Bears have to win out. The Bears play Jacksonville next Sunday, and the Sunday after that we have Green Bay. That's a tough game, but hopefully they rest their starters if they clinch first seed. We need a Cardinals loss if we win out. One Cardinals loss. They play San Francisco this week, and they play the Los Angeles Rams the next week. That'd be the easiest way to get into the playoffs. The Bears win out, Cardinals lose one game. Another way is the Bears win out with 2 Bucs losses. The Buccaneers, we did beat them week 5, I believe, Thursday Night Football, which gives us the advantage over them. But I don't think the Bucs will lose as they're playing Detroit next week and Atlanta again in week 17. Another possibility for the Bears to make the playoffs is the Bears win out, Cardinals lose to San Francisco this Saturday. They play this Saturday, week 16, and then the Rams lose the next 2 games. If the Rams play Seattle and Arizona, if that happens, the Bears get the 6th seed. I'll say that again. It's a little confusing. The Bears have to win out. The Cardinals would lose this week against the San Francisco 49ers. The Rams would lose the next 2 games. They play Seattle and the Cardinals. It's possible. And then the Cardinals would have to beat the Rams week 17. If that happens, the Bears get the 6th seed in the playoffs. So the Bears would move up a seed, and then the Cardinals would get the 7th seed, and the Rams would miss the playoffs. If the Bears, however, let's say lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars and win against Green Bay, or flip it around, which is probably more likely. If the Bears win 1 and lose 1, the Vikings would have to lose another game, and then the Cardinals would have to lose out in order to make the playoffs. So yeah, those are the couple ways the Bears can make the playoffs. It's gonna be tough. It's going to get interesting, but yeah, I think we do have a pretty high chance. I think we are sitting at 36% right now, Zach.
Yeah, so the Cardinals, I mean, they're still fighting for their spot as well.
Yeah.
So they play the 49ers, who have already been eliminated from playoff contention. So who knows how that game could go? They're obviously a very injured team. But you can't really rule out any team in this league, to be honest.
No.
There's been a lot of games this season where teams where you don't think have a shot to win, as we saw literally yesterday. The Rams just lost to the Jets. And actually, that helps us in a way because the Jaguars now have contention for that number one pick with Trevor Lawrence. And I'm sure they're really going to want to keep that over the Jets. So I'm not, I mean, obviously no team is saying, oh, I want it to, I mean, the front office isn't saying, oh, we need to tank. But, I think that the Jaguars, they're 1-13. They're not fighting very well. I mean, they're putting up with a couple of teams. They've put up with Green Bay pretty well. They played the Vikings. They were in a very close game in that game as well, and we just came out of a very close game as well. So it's going to be a very interesting next couple of stretch of games. We play Green Bay week 17, and I'm assuming that who knows what's going to happen with that. Aaron Rodgers, I feel like if he has a chance to keep us out of the playoffs, we'll play that game just because that's who he is. He doesn't want the Bears being in any winning scenario. But like I said, it's gonna be a very interesting next couple of weeks. Parth, realistically, man, what do you think are our chances for making the playoffs here? I mean, it's a very, very. I mean, everything has to go our way here. We have to win.
Yeah.
We play a very good Green Bay team, week 17. And who knows how that will look? Maybe Aaron Rodgers does sit. I feel like if he has a chance to put us out, he will put us out. We obviously can't take the Jaguars lightly. If we lose the Jaguars, that won't look good either.
That would end the season right then and there. So yeah, it's like you said, it's the playoff chances are half and half right now. I'm going to literally put us at a 50%. I think the toughest chance for us will be to beat Green Bay. I have faith in the Niners or the Rams to beat the Cardinals. I think, they're both divisional games. Divisional games could go to any team. It doesn't matter how matched up they are. They're both well-coached teams too. I think all three teams are well-coached. Cliff Kingsbury's done a great job with the Cardinals. Sean McVay is also a really good coach for the Rams. I think he'll do whatever it takes to win out. If the Rams win out, they win their division. So that's something the Rams will also try to do. And the Niners with Kyle Shanahan, despite all the injuries this year, despite who's been at quarterback, who's been at running back, who's the wide receiver, they've had a pretty decent offense, and you can never count out the 49ers. It's a huge prayer for the Niners. I think if the Niners win this weekend, the playoffs chances for the Bears shoot up to 65% chance, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a massive game. Nick Mullins under center. Kyle Shanahan is a phenomenal coach. He's made a lot of great out of that scenario, despite 2020 has been a year where the Bears have luckily actually been on the luckier side.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of COVID cases, not a lot of injuries, all by Tariq Cohen. James Daniels goes down. There were a couple of injuries this year that really hurt us. I really think that the Bears went out here. It'd be great. I don't really want to count this team out yet because, the offense has certainly woken up and they look really alive right now. They're doing things that Bears offenses haven't been doing in years. And surprisingly, it's with probably the best run game that Matt Nagy has had in his career. Which we never saw because this offensive line, they've made a lot of changes. There's been a new five up there, pretty much every other week. They finally found their matchups. They finally found the offensive line that works. Sam Musfer stepped up. He has been an absolute beast. Cody Whitehair, obviously a phenomenal offensive lineman. He did great for us yesterday in that Vikings win, made a lot of great holes for David Montgomery, who saw a career high in touches and yards, and got in twice for some touchdowns that really ultimately helped us win that game. But that game was really, really heartaching. It was just, another Bears game
down to the wire, like always.
Another Bears game where you're just clenching your heart, and that was a really great game, and obviously was pretty much our season right there. So these next couple of weeks, as we said before, the last couple of weeks, we have to win out here. Our season is on the line. it is notable. I mean, a lot of Bears fans are kind of weary about the Bears winning because if we went out here, I believe there is a chance that we can get outside of a top 20 pick. So I don't think a lot of Bears fans like that, but I really don't care. I really want the Bears to succeed no matter what. And you know what? As long as they can make the playoffs, I'm not sure their chances of winning the game against. I mean, assuming they make the wild card, they're probably playing a good team.
The Saints probably, which I would be fine facing because we did take them to overtime.
Yeah, and they have been looking kind of.
They've looked beatable. Drew Brees hasn't looked that good.
They're getting. I think they've been exposed as a beatable team. I really feel like most of the teams in the NFC are really beatable. AFC is definitely the Chiefs are the team to beat. You know, the Packers are obviously the NFC favorite, I'm sure. But you know, I really think the Bears. I mean, this team. If they can get their defense together, which is something that at the beginning of the season I never thought we'd be saying. If they can get this defense together, it was at one point a top 10 defense. If that defense can get back to where it was at the beginning of the season with, you know, a number one, number two for most of the season, red zone defense, a great third down defense. This team seriously has a great shot. I'm not saying they're going all the way, but you know what? I really, really want a playoff win. Because I'm tired of the 2010s. I mean, obviously it's 2020, but this last decade has been a winless, or not winless, but has been very
no playoff wins. I think,
has been very tough on the Bears in the playoffs. So I really want to come out with a win at least once in the playoffs over this last decade. But that'll pretty much do it for us. It's just a kind of a rambling podcast, kind of a rant podcast with Parth today. Just talking about, you know, the Bears do have a chance here. It's going to be very interesting the next couple of weeks. So please keep your eye out. You know, if you're a big Bears supporter, you really are going to want them to make the playoffs here and see what they can do. But it's going to be very interesting to see this team unfold over the next couple of weeks because this offense is showing a lot of promise right now. Mitch looks a lot better under center, and you know, you can only question where this team could have been if he had never benched. He looks like the best of it in his career.
I think the benching helped him personally, though.
Yeah, I think, you know, the couple of games that Nick Foles went in, and then I think, you know, that obviously helped. And then I think if they had put him in
a little earlier, earlier, it would have helped.
Yeah, it could have changed a lot of the outcomes of the game. But you know, ifs and buts don't matter. We're at this point in the season. So, like I said, it's going to be next couple of weeks are going to be, you know, the stuff to watch. So that'll pretty much do it for us, though. I hope you guys are all doing well. I'm not sure if I probably won't be back on here before Christmas. So if you don't see from me or hear from me, Merry Christmas to you all. Thank you guys very much for giving us a platform that we have. I saw some of the numbers today for the channel over 2020, gained over 2,700 subscribers, just 2020.
Yeah.
We're sitting at around 3.4, I think, 3.4 thousand. So, man, I mean,
it's a huge jump this year. Incredible.
It's been really incredible just to watch the channel grow. You know, so thank you guys very much. Parth, any last words?
Yeah, like you said, it's been incredible to see the jump in the channel. It's going to be fun to watch the Bears the next 2 weeks. Playoff football both weeks, I'd say. Even though it's Jacksonville this week, hopefully we can stomp them. It'd be nice to get a blowout win again. I think the offense is on fire. Hopefully the defense picks it back up. You know, they've struggled in the red zone, which is something the Bears defense usually doesn't. But you know, we've been missing a few players. A few players are hurt, playing through injury. It's getting the end of the season. But you know, I expect this team to come up, play their hardest next 2 games, and give it their all.
Yeah, man. I mean, I can't wait to see what happens here. You know, I'm okay with the Bears heartbreak because I'm used to it. But yeah, that'll pretty much do it for us, you guys. Thank you guys very much again for supporting us. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe, like the video, share it with some of your friends, loved ones. You know, get us out there. But yeah, I mean, it's been great talking with you guys over this year, and there's a lot more to come. So thank you guys very much, and have a great holiday. Thank you all. Bye.